If you really enjoyed our last tips compilation video, I'm sure you're going to enjoy part 2. So again, sit back, relax, and enjoy the tips from some of the best metal detectorists out there.
Hi everyone, and welcome to my first segment of Dirty Dig Tips of the Week. When I'm out detecting a new location, I always try to find the high traffic areas. As you know, it's human nature to always use the straightest and shortest route. So when I'm out there, I'm looking for straight lines that are connecting the house to the outhouse, the well, the barn, the sheds, the laneway, and I'm also going to focus on those entertainment areas such as the side yard.
Do you have a tip for those people who are just starting out?
Again, be patient. You think, oh, where am I going to go? And there are so many spots, but I really want to say cover your holes, show respect, always ask permission. Even I work for the city of Brampton. I will go to a park's keeper and say, introduce myself. I do work at the city, but I would like permission. Because you want to look positive in the public. You don't want to be digging holes and leaving them because there's going to be complaints and then no one's going to dig. Always be polite. Always say hello. When I'm at the beach, people are looking at me like, what's this chick in this suit doing? And I would say, hey, how are you? How are you doing? Do you want to try it? I've offered people to try it. Not that I want to take it up because they'll dig all their treasures, but no. Sharing especially with kids too, getting them outside, but sharing this hobby with seniors and women, guys, I think is key. You got to put more positive out to have this hobby accepted and not, oh, they're just after the money. Or that's why I like returning rings. I know many people at the beach will keep everything, and personally I think it's wrong.
I wrote the book. I've been giving workshops and I gave classes even at the local community school on this, and it's people that get frustrated because they're not finding, I haven't found a Morgan dollar. Well, good luck, honey, I haven't either, and I've been doing this almost 13 years. Yeah, I'm in a part of the country where I could find that, but you got to get your coil over the target, and what I tell them is you've got to fish where the fish are. It's really, I think, about trusting your research. Like, do your research first and trust it. Get the best machine you can afford, and then just practice as much as you can. That's really it. So one of the things, I don't care how long you've been digging and how old you are, don't be proud. If somebody can share their stuff with you, be gracious and accept that and be grateful because they're being very kind and generous.
If you were to give a tip to any metal detectorists out there, what would you say? What would be the first tip you'd like to give them?
Be patient, and if you find an old house site, do under the clotheslines, where the clotheslines used to be. Because you hang your pants up, your change falls out.
Well, I get a lot of complaints from when I'm out and about because I can't adjust the volume or put in headphones, and everyone hears the beeping.
That's right. So you're still using the Bounty Hunter today?
Yes.
Is there a machine that you have your eyes on for in the future, or?
To me, a metal detector is a metal detector. There's no specific one I want. I'd like one with a digital screen that shows the numbers for the signal. The one I have now is just a meter bar, and no matter what the signal is, it always jumps the needle to 10. So I can't really pinpoint what it is I'm getting. But gear-wise, I have to get a Garrett Carrot. That's the one thing I need to get.
If you were to give one tip to metal detectorists, what would it be?
Low and slow. I see guys and they're going crazy. Wow.
What would you say has been the most challenging thing in metal detecting?
The most challenging thing? I don't know. But before stealth diggers, the old door knocking thing, because we used to love to go and just do oh, there's an old Victorian. Let's knock on the, It's like, get out of here. Get off my lawn.
Stuff like that. So asking for permissions you found to be the most challenging.
Well, kind of, sort of. I mean, it's the nervousness of going up. Will I be accepted or not? And lots of times people are like, really? Well, tell me more. And
They do. Yeah, I know. It's the initial going up and knocking. What we've been trying to do actually is when we see them outside, we go and approach them while they're outside, and especially the farmers, you see them walking to their barn or something, and they're not in the fields or something, and we've been mostly successful then. It's like you're not interrupting them, and you're not knocking at the door, So.
Most of the farmers around here I know. In fact, there's a farmer I don't know, and so we just go out and hit their fields. So it's exclusive.
If you had one tip to give to metal detectorists, what would it be?
It depends on what type of metal detectorist they are.
Let's give one since, you guys hit the cellar holes. If you were to give one tip to a metal detectorist, we'll say that is going to a cellar hole for the very first time, what would be your tip?
9 times out of 10, there's nothing inside the cellar hole. Everybody has that thought. Jump into the hole, and it's like nothing. Very few times will there be something in the hole. It's around what Charlie calls the lip of the hole. I take the big orbits. I follow those walls all the way around to the back 40, and that's where I find a lot of these amazing finds, or way out in the fields, which are now forests.
Hey, well, that is really funny, because I think the very first time I found a cellar hole, I did exactly that. I jumped right in, and all I could get was all the copper wires and the nails, and I was just like, I probably spent like an hour or so in there. I've even tried to dig some of the top off of it, and it's my very last thing. If I can't find anything else, if we don't have it, it would be my very last place to look. Yourself, and if anybody else has one, they can volunteer. But Frank, I'd like to know if you could give one tip to people out there, what would it be? One tip in this hobby.
Don't get discouraged if you're not finding anything. The answer to finding good stuff is time behind the coil. Be patient. If you haven't found anything in a month, 10 million people haven't found anything in a month, and it's just going to take time, and you'll start to pop the good stuff.
Yes. Mine is take your time, go very, very slow. The slower you go, I've always found the more targets I hit, and the deeper targets I hit.
I got one.
Go ahead, Maddie.
What's yours?
Okay. Mine is, if you have a detector and somebody says that they have one that might be better than yours, and you think yours is as good as it can be, and you think yours is as good as it can be, keep yours if you want to.
That's it. That's it, because I think often metal detectors, it's each person to their own, right? Everybody has their certain taste, certain, the weight of it or the sound of it. There's a lot of people that, there's a reason why they think theirs is the best, right?
If you, whether you spent $29 or $2,500, if you are happy with the machine you were swinging, then you have the right machine.
I was going to say, one thing to remember is that this is a hobby. This is for enjoyment. It's not for to make money at. You are getting exercise. You're getting some camaraderie if you do get around a good group of people. But you have to keep in mind it is a hobby. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun. And you do never know what you're going to unearth.
Right, absolutely right. If you think you're going to make money, it's going to take, if you look at the hourly rate we make as metal detectorists.
No, I mean,
yeah, you're not going to quit your day job.
Yeah, it's not a money-making hobby, that's for sure. It's fun.
You're taking one penny at a time.
one penny at a time, yes.
Hi everybody, my name is Eric from Relic Dirtyhands, and I'm going to bring you this week's dig tip. This week I want to talk about researching for potential sites in your area. Now, everybody knows to try to find old maps. I find my old maps at the National Archives and through my Historical Society. And maps are great. I mean, you got a lot of information on those maps. Often you'll have, besides having the location of the old home sites, which are difficult to find because often they're not there anymore, you also have information on the location of churches, schoolhouses, maybe the general store if you're lucky. You also have features such as mines and whatnot, and then possibly do an overlay on Google Earth afterwards. I know the overlay feature on Google Earth is not great for large maps, and you have to resize the map and adjust it. It distorts the map a bit. So if you're using that, you want to keep some landmarks, some features from the map. If it's a large map, you may want to crop it and make sure you keep some of those features. So when you resize it, you can line up maybe it's a bend in the river or old roads with the property lines. Often property lines haven't changed, especially in rural areas. They haven't changed in hundreds of years. Really, my dig tip is really about adding to this. Now, I want to show you how you can increase the amount of sites, of potential sites, just by getting more information and gaining information. But this time, you need to look for literature, essentially like personal journals or the newspaper archives. They hold a lot of information about events, like an annual picnic, for example. So they'll often give you directions on how to get there, on whose land it's on, or the lot, or the landowner's name. So that's another way of finding more potential sites in your area. This is additional information that you don't have on your physical map, but you can obtain, and then you can cross-reference it with the maps you already have and the overlays that you've done to try to help you pinpoint this location. It could be in somebody's journal. They mention how they went fishing over the weekend and their favorite fishing hole in front of by the creek in front of so-and-so's property. These are going to give you clues on where to look today to find some really cool stuff, and it also adds provenance to your finds as well, which is really of historical significance, and it's very important. I think it adds to the thrill of the hunt. You know, when you find something and it was probably, it's from this date, and it might have been like this group of people that were here back in the day doing this. So it adds provenance to the finds, and hopefully you can benefit from this and find more areas to hunt and maybe find a sweet spot. Well, thanks for listening. I hope this helps, and remember, always ask permission on private land and follow your local laws. Happy hunting.
Thanks for watching. I really hope that you guys all enjoy these tips and tricks. And don't forget to check out some of our other videos. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.